Take off your glasses, right now. If your prescription is over 400 degrees, the world in front of you has already started to blur. Words in the distance, smeared into nothing. Lights turning into rings of haze. 5 meters away, you can't tell if what's crouching in the grass is a rock or something staring back at you. Now, take those eyes. Go back 100,000 years. No glasses, no doctors, no one to fix it. By the logic of evolution, poor eyesight means slower, more vulnerable, more likely to die young. Those nearsighted ancestors should have been eliminated long ago, but they weren't. Not only did they survive, today, nearly 3 billion people need glasses. Myopia didn't disappear, it spread. That's a genuinely strange problem. Was poor vision actually a disadvantage in a world without glasses? The answer will make you rethink what we call normal and what we call broken. Let me show you what actually happened 100,000 years ago. But wait, before I get there, I need to break an assumption you almost certainly believe. You think myopia happens because human eyes are fragile by design? No. You think it's from too much reading, too much screen time? That's only half the picture. What actually reshapes the eyeball is something you consume every single day, without realizing it. And our ancestors happen to get enormous amounts of it. Not because they were smarter, but because their way of life accidentally built a shield around their eyes. That shield has a name. It's called sunlight. We tend to assume that high myopia rates in urban students come from overusing their eyes. But in the 1960s, researchers surveyed Inuit communities in northern Alaska. The results were striking. Among older generations who maintained traditional outdoor lifestyles, myopia was rare. But among their children who entered modern schools, rates shot up dramatically. Same population, same genetics, 2 generations apart, completely different outcomes. This tells us myopia isn't some slowly encoded flaw in human DNA. It can explode within 1 or 2 generations. So what's actually happening? The real problem isn't that the eyes get tired, it's that the shape of the eyeball itself changes. In a normal eye, light lands precisely on the retina. But when the axial length stretches too far, the focal point shifts. It lands in front of the retina, and the distant world goes blurry. Bright outdoor light stimulates the retina to release dopamine. And here, dopamine isn't the reward chemical that keeps you scrolling. It's a break signal for eye development. It tells the eyeball, enough. Stop growing. Hold here. Our ancestors spent their days walking, hunting, foraging under open skies. The natural light they absorbed was orders of magnitude more than what we get today. Sunlight was their built-in defense against myopia. But nature never offers a 100% guarantee. Even if most prehistoric humans had good vision, some were born with weak eyesight, or lost it through injury, illness, or genetics. So what happened to them? The answer starts in the Arctic. The Inuit faced a deadly threat: snow blindness. Sunlight reflecting off endless ice could burn the eyes, sometimes causing near-total vision loss. So they carved narrow slits into driftwood, reindeer bone, or walrus ivory, and strapped it to their faces. On the surface, snow goggles. But there's a function you wouldn't expect. You can test this right now. If you're nearsighted, squint until your eyes are almost closed. Look at something far away. Does it get slightly clearer? That's not imagination. When light passes through a narrow slit, scattered edge light is blocked. Only concentrated rays enter. The image sharpens. This is the pinhole effect. Without any knowledge of optics, the Inuit used bone and animal hide to create the world's first crude vision correction device. Then later, ancient Rome. Emperor Nero reportedly watched gladiator matches through a polished green gemstone. Medieval monks ground crystal into domes and placed them on manuscripts to magnify text. That became the earliest ancestor of reading glasses. Humans have never passively accepted visual limitation. We have always looked for ways to bend the rules of light, using whatever we had around us. But there's a deeper question underneath all of this. Carving bone requires tools. Grinding crystal requires craft. Push the timeline back further. 50,000 years, 100,000 years, back to prehistoric tribes with crude tools and no technology. What kept a nearsighted person alive then? The real answer isn't any single tool. It's a more fundamental principle. We think of myopia as a defect today because modern life demands you read traffic lights, blackboards, and small text on screens. But strip away the modern city, return to a prehistoric tribe, and you'll find that vision was never a single standard. Eyes that see far, perfect for tracking prey. Eyes that see close, perfect for an entirely different kind of work. Consider this. In the Denisova cave in the Altai Mountains, archaeologists found a bone needle, carved from an ancient bird bone, about 7.6 centimeters long, with an impossibly small threading hole at one end. In a prehistoric cave with no power tools, no magnifying glass, only firelight. Who could work bone to that level of precision? The person who carved that needle didn't need sharp distance vision. They needed the ability to focus on minute details, centimeters from their face, for hours. And those cave paintings at Lascaux, the muscle lines on the bison, the posture of galloping horses, those weren't painted casually. They required intense close-range observation and extraordinary hand-eye coordination. A nearsighted person in a prehistoric tribe wasn't useless. They might have been the craftsperson, the tailor, the tool sharpener, the one who made the bone needles, the one who painted the walls. The hunters stood in the cold wind and watched the far horizon for them. They sat by the fire and built the tools that brought the hunters home alive, not better than each other. Different components of the same survival machine. Prehistoric tribes may have understood something before modern society did. People don't need to be useful in the same way. Some are telescopes, some are microscopes. What kept humanity alive wasn't everyone being perfect. It was the willingness to put each other's imperfections together and make something complete. So the first truly great glasses in human history may never have been something you wore on your nose. They were the people willing to stand in front of you and see the distance you couldn't. And you, sitting by the fire, seeing the details they never would. Our ancestors understood this 100,000 years ago. It just took us an entire modern civilization to start remembering it. This is Annie, helping you see yourself through a 100,000-year lens. Now, let your eyes rest. See you next time.